students to become tomorrow's leaders, creators, and innovators. I created ScholarJet because I believe that students have more to offer than a 500-word essay. At ScholarJet, we're taking an unconventional approach.
Trường Giang xin kính chào quý vị khán giả của đài SBTN. Kính thưa quý vị, hôm nay Trường Giang đang có mặt tại trung tâm của thành phố Boston và nơi đây có một cái công ty rất là đặc biệt quý vị. Và người thành lập ra công ty này là một bạn trẻ mới vừa 23 tuổi. Công ty gọi là ScholarJet là một công ty phục vụ để giúp đỡ cho các em sinh viên có một phần tài chính trong học bổng để tiếp tục việc học vấn của mình. Đặc biệt là bạn trẻ này được rất là nhiều đài báo đưa tin. Một trong những đài báo lớn đó là tờ báo tạp chí Forbes, là một tạp chí nổi tiếng nhất thế giới quý vị, đã tìm đến em Tuấn Hồ và họ đã có một bài viết rất là hay về Tuấn Hồ. Hôm nay Trường Giang đang có mặt ở đây để tiếp chuyện cùng với Tuấn Hồ, cũng như là muốn Tuấn chia sẻ về cái quá trình của mình như thế nào để trở thành một CEO, một tổng giám đốc điều hành của một công ty ScholarJet. Trường Giang xin mời Tuấn gửi lời chào đến quý vị khán giả của đài SBTN.
Chào khán giả của SBTN. Chắc hôm nay cái interview này mình sẽ nói tiếng Anh cho nó dễ dàng hơn.
Cái thưa Tuấn đến Hoa Kỳ cũng hơn một thập niên và anh đến đây từ bé, cho nên tiếng Việt cũng có một điều khó khăn, thì Trường Giang và Tuấn sẽ trò chuyện đến quý vị cùng qua tiếng Anh. Thì you know, first I'm very surprised to see a young guy, you know. Normally, young guy like you, they don't even know what direction they go in their career. But you established, you built a company from scratch called ScholarJet to help people out. I mean, what motivated you to do that?
So I think one of the very first motivation is that, you know, you only have one life, and say you given 100 years to live. And so one of the biggest motivations is that I don't want my life to go to waste. And after working at an engineering firm for about 6 months, I forward myself, you know, in the future, and realizing that if I'm just going to be sitting at a cubicle for the rest of my life, and I'm wasting my life away. So I wanted to do something more exciting. I wanted to create a better future where every single day when you wake up, you look forward to doing what you're doing.
You're doing something inspirational. I mean, it's not just like doing what you like to do, but helping other people is the important thing. I know that you've been through a lot when you were young, how you get here, and with your underprivileged family. Living in Dorchester, you know, it's a tough neighborhood, but you've been through it. Can you share some of the experience in the past?
So, you know, I was sponsored by my stepdad to the U.S., and after 6 months, things didn't work out between the family. And so what we had to do is we were on our own, my mom, my older brother, and me. And so we were living in Dorchester, which is a huge struggle. She was working like 3 different jobs a week trying to make our ends meet. And so what happens, like at the age of 10 years old, I was attacked and robbed within the neighborhood. And then 15 years old, I was attacked and robbed again. So just goes to show the type of neighborhood that we live in. And so through that, all I was focusing on is to focus in school. For me, I wanted to help the family. The only way that I could do that was to learn English much faster. So I focused my entire time on learning English, and by watching cartoons, watching the caption, and use Cημένđể find the meaning behind the words, and then just learn much quicker by doing the things that I like, which is watching cartoon. And so after 6 months, I was fluent in English, and then just really focusing in school. So I went to Boston Land Academy. I got accepted into Northeastern University, but my mom was only making $20,000 a year, like I said. So Northeastern cost $40,000 a year.
Kính quý vị, theo chúng tôi được biết, khi mà chúng ta vào đại học thì chúng ta phải viết những bài luận văn. Riêng bạn Tuấn ở đây thì bạn viết 120 bài luận văn để xin học bổng vào đại học. You wrote 120 essays for your college entrance. I mean, that's a lot. Tell me about the essay and how you get that idea from that your personal idea and come to establish the company like this.
Yeah, so I mean, given more time, I would have wrote 400 if I have to. Like, getting money to go to college is so hard these days. Even if you are given financial aid, you still have to pay a large amount of money. So I still have to pay $10,000 a year, and my mom don't have enough money for that. And so what it is, in the U.S. alone, there's a $50 billion of scholarships given every single year, but only 30% of minorities apply for scholarship, and out of those, there's 10% who gets a scholarship. So it's a very low amount. At one point, I wanted to create a scholarship to give back to the community. I wanted to create a $1,000 scholarship because I have some extra cash lying around when I was 19 years old. But I realized I didn't want to read any of these kids' essays. So I'd rather challenge them to do something.
Talk about challenging. What is the process of applying, and what kind of, you saying that there's kids have to do some project, get this kind of scholarship. So what is the process?
So, I've created a platform for kids to sign up to participate in our competition. And each of these competitions are created by companies. It basically a challenge to ask students to showcase their skills and talents in the things that they care about or the things that they're good at. So if I'm going to talk to an engineering company, they would create a competition, say, for example, made a coding application that turned on and off a light, for example. And then everyone would participate to compete for that cash prize, which is a scholarship. It could be $1,000, it could be $3,000. And then all they have to do is actually do something for that submissions rather than having to write an essay about that submissions. And the thing is, we target the type of, if it was engineering related, then we would target the engineering kids. And so they don't see this as an obstacle. They see this as something that they like to do. And so if they're going to do it anyways, it adds to their portfolio for their later career. So even if they don't win, then they would get a chance to earn scholarship if they win. But if they don't, then other companies can look at the kid and be like, this kid created something great. Even if they didn't win the competitions, I want to hire that kid to work at my company and stuff like that.
Now, how did you get the fund to give out scholarship like this?
Yeah, so this simple response is that I charge companies to give money away. Which is so our service is essentially we have a platform. We have a platform called ScholarJet.com, and it handle all of the submissions, it handle all of the competitions creation. And what we do is we go to the company and in the HR department, and then we would ask them, hey, do you have hiring needs for college students for entry-level positions? And what we would do is we charge them an annual licensing fee to use the platform. And then after that, our team is responsible for helping companies to come up with ideas. But what it looks like in the future is that the platform will automate itself, and all we have to do is give them the platform and charge them an annual fee, and then the company can come up with their different competitions, and we'll be hands-off. And that's how we're going to scale across the nation. But right now, we're focusing in Boston and Massachusetts.
Can you share your passion about Vô Việt Nam, or martial art in general, and why you been doing it for so many years?
Yeah, so I've been doing it for about 7 years. I think I picked it up when the second time that I was attacked and robbed within Dorchester, and I realized I wanted to defend myself and protect others. So then I started learning the martial art, and actually I've done more martial art than just Vô Việt Nam, but I've always been doing Vô Việt Nam, and some of the instructor there is Tuấn Hồ and Vương. They're the one that are really structuring the dojo called Quang Trung. And Vô Việt Nam, of course, is really well known all over Vietnam as one of the anchoring martial art, and they have flying leg technique and stuff like that. But I think more than just learning the martial art to defend myself and others, it's about giving back to the community. So then we would put on performance every single year for Tết, and we are also part of a line dance team to also going around different businesses to give them a line dance performance. So that's what I do.
As a very young social entrepreneur, what advice would you give the people who would like to go into entrepreneur like this?
Yeah. So one of the biggest thing is the education that we were taught is to always, become a good employee and stuff like that. But what we really need to figure out is how to learn much better than what the school teach you. And so the main difference that had made a huge difference in my life was actually reading a whole bunch of books. I've read 200 books in 6 months while I was working at my engineering company. And that has just opened my mind to multiple different things. And so the key to being successful is, Will Smith once says this as well. It's really, one is to run, and the other one is to read. Running, it just teaches you to never give up, like to learn to get back up one more time and keep going. And reading is, there has never been, a problem in the world that haven't been solved, that haven't been written down by someone. right? So then I started out just reading a lot of biographies between the very successful people, including Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and many other people, and I learned from what they've learned. So as much as, you know, I can give any general advice, what I would recommend people to do is to read as much as possible to really open their mind to what the world has to offer, rather than, you know, if you were born, you grow up, and you go to school, you get a job, and then you get married, and then you know, have kids, and then tell your kid to do that all over again. It's really boring, right? That's not all that life has to offer.
Kính thưa quý vị, hai điều khuyên mà bạn trẻ Tuấn Hồ đã cho biết đó là bạn đọc sách rất là nhiều và thường hay chạy bộ. Đó là một cách để làm cho chúng ta luôn lúc nào cũng đứng lên và làm việc để trở thành một người thành công. ĐვილNG Giang tường thực cho đài SBTN từ thành phố Boston. Xin chân thành cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình.
Yeah, cảm ơn. Thank you for interviewing me.